We're under a minute.
Hello, folks. Welcome to the WFCU Center. Brett Hedges and Aaron Sanders on the call tonight for Knockstrom.tv. The Kitchener-Waterloo Titans in town tonight, Aaron, and the Windsor Express definitely need a win.
They do, and, well, you look at it, both of these teams need a win. They're riding on losing streaks so far. Kitchener-Waterloo lost 4 of their last 5, 4 in a row. Windsor has lost their last 3, so definitely with this home court advantage, something has to be done tonight.
Absolutely, and the Windsor Express have had some success against Kitchener-Waterloo tonight. 2-0 against them. How do they make it 3-0 tonight, Aaron?
Well, they really have to challenge their bigs, number 1. Number 2, Kitchener-Waterloo's 8th in the league in three-point shooting, so challenge them outside, get into that pressure. They'll be all right if they do that.
One noticeable subtraction from tonight's lineup is Nick Evans. He's held up for precautionary reasons due to concussion syndrome. We are going to evaluate him going forward with Eric Parker in the lineup tonight.
Yes, it's a great addition for him, especially. They needed that depth. Windsor needed that depth, so they played equalizer on that. So we hope to see a lot of things happening in the postgame tonight.
I absolutely agree with you. Let's send it up to upstairs. We're going to come back for the call after the national anthem. Sorry for the short pregame, folks, but you know, Knockstrom.tv, we do it the best anyway. So we'll talk to you guys soon here after the national anthem. Hello, folks. Brett Hedges and Aaron Sanders up top of the WFCU Center, moments away from tip-off between the Windsor Express and the Kitchener-Waterloo Titans. The starters have been named for the Kitchener-Waterloo Titans under head coach Serge Langus. And now, here come your Windsor Express. We spoke in the pregame, Aaron, about the absence of Nick Evans tonight. We saw him take a little bit of a tumble on Wednesday. He's out for precautionary reasons.
And it's one thing to protect your players, too. I mean, he's one of the big emotional leaders for Windsor. Obviously, there's going to be a big gap in their roster tonight, but luckily Eric Parker came to town, came when the bell rang, and he's here, and hopefully he'll fill in that gap for, hopefully, a temporary time.
Yeah, Lester Prosper and DeAndre Thomas are going to see some extended minutes, I would assume, after a really exciting game that we had on Wednesday. The Windsor Express hold the London Lightning to 91 points, but unfortunately fall 91-87 to fall to 3-6.
On a positive note, I was highly impressed by DeAndre Thomas, and I know, folks, you heard a lot, the whole story about his rebuilding process and everything. He was perfect from the free throw line last game, 17 points a game, really gave due diligence. He showed everybody that the post was his neighborhood yet again, and hopefully the bigs could really clean up for Windsor tonight and break this three-game losing edge.
Yeah, DeAndre Thomas definitely rounding into form since being signed to the roster last week. This will be his fourth game in the regular season this year after losing 18 months to a torn patellar tendon. So you know the kind of strength and kind of internal will that a guy like that has to be able to come back from an injury like that and play at a pro level. So that's got to be an inspiring story for the roster, just to show one man what his determination and will is just to get back on the court.
And it displays how much confidence the team has in him, especially in the individual self. DeAndre had a goal. He fulfilled it 18 months out. And now this WFCU faithful get to see what they have missed out on, especially from the championship days, with the addition of veterans and including DeAndre Thomas himself, like we already mentioned.
The starting lineup for the Windsor Express tonight: number 11, Maurice Jones; number 15, Quinnell Brown; number 10, Warren Ward; number 24, Lester Prosper; and number 30, Wally Ellenson. Wally was kept pretty quiet on Wednesday night. I didn't see him too much on the stat sheet, and he's a guy that can be like a breakout player for the team. If he gets going, they're going pretty well.
He's a microwave type of shooter, and can you believe the hops on this guy? I remember seeing him in college, and he won his college's slam dunk contest. I mean, he has the vertical, he has the confidence to make good shots, good decisions, and that's what Windsor really needs to open up their mid-range to long-range game.
Wally Ellenson out of Marquette University, Rice Lake, Wisconsin native, born in 1994. He's a spring chicken, but he's been playing with some confidence and really some solid fundamental play as well so far in the year.
And especially when you're young like that, you really have to prove a point to not only the teams, but all the other teams in the league as well. Show them that you are not intimidated to take it to the hole or shoot. Wally Ellison, a young guy like you said, Brett, but he's going to go places if he keeps up shooting consistent shots like that.
Mm-hmm. Adam Blazik and Quinnell Brown out to the ceremonial tip-off. And Blazik, the last two times the Windsor Express have played, have done a pretty good job of keeping him away from the three-point line. Not a bad strategy if you're the Windsor Express. Obviously, defense first for Bill Jones.
And absolutely, too. And remember, Adam Blazik on the defensive end, he defies any mismatches that comes to him. He has that great ball vision, which causes him to transfer that defense into offense. And when he goes to the offensive side, oh, brother, you better look out. And like you said, the Windsor Express have done a great job. They lead the season series.
Windsor 3-6, Kitchener 2-6. Looking to get on the winning path here tonight in Game 10 of the regular season for the Windsor Express. Home game, number 4, Lester Prosper, and number 1, A.J. Davis.
And Windsor is 0-2 this week, Brett. And one key thing to remember, too, this year so far, Windsor has showed that they had some very sloppy movement in a very sloppy first half, but they really tightened it up in the second half. So what they need to do is make some smooth ball movements to avoid any turnovers and a sloppy start.
The Windsor Express had 2 costly turnovers in the last minute in their game against London on Wednesday, which cost them the comeback. Windsor Express in the opening offensive possession. Warren Ward spinning in the middle of the lane, finishing, no, can't get the shot to fall. And Jamel Harris, number 1, with the rebound.
He had a good choice of driving it inside because Kitchener-Waterloo isn't that good inside of the post when it comes to defense, so it was a good decision to drive inside.
Paul Cooper checks into, is in the starting lineup for Kitchener-Waterloo, who start Adam Blazik, number 5, Adam Wing, number 15, Paul Cooper down low, and he does not score. Cooper wearing number 36, Jamel Harris wearing number 1. AJ Davis, number 10. So here come the Express. Maurice Jones has been playing well. Start the year, finds Lester Prosper down low. He turns the shoulders and scores.
And that's one way to start off this game. Great way to drive inside. I mean, he used his footwork well. He knew he couldn't go any farther, so that jump hook really did him justice.
Lester Prosper had 4 points in our game on Wednesday night, playing the energy role in a reserve. The injury to Nick Evans will put Lester into the starting lineup, pardon me. Jamel Harris kicks it out to Blazik. Gets a high screen from Cooper. Davis looking inside to Cooper. Cooper can't handle it, now he does. Driving baseline. AJ Davis doesn't get the shot off in time, or he does, but the Windsor Express end up with the rebound.
It was all because the Windsor Express were very effective on that 2-3 zone defense. Wally Ellison.
For 3, it's good. Wally.
And there it is. That's that type of edge Windsor needed. They need to open up their shot choices, and boy, they did.
Wing. Back to Blazik. He catches and shoots. And that ball will go out of bounds. Right near the official, Teresa Stuck. On the end line here today. Maurice Jones over the timeline. 5-0 lead for the Windsor Express after a 3 from Wally Ellenson. Jones changes direction, behind the back, spinning, shooting, off the front rim. Head coach Serge Langus telling his boys to get up the floor. And AJ Davis can't find Jamel Harris down low on the driving kick.
Usually in the early goings of the game, Brett, Windsor still had to find their niche to set up on defense, but early on, 2 minutes in, they're doing a real great job, and that's really the key reasons why they get the ball back more effectively.
Ellenson in the corner. Gets the defender up in the air. Doesn't get the call. Jamel Harris spinning, shooting. Warren Ward with the board. Ward pushing the ball up the floor. Looked inside to Prosper, but he reverses field. And Maurice Jones gets a backdoor pass from Quinnell Brown. Quick catch from Warren Ward for 3, no good.
If he would have gone with it, that would have been a great entry pass.
Blazik on the run. Can't get it to go. Tipped up. Cooper going to draw the foul. Believe that one's going to go against Lester Prosper. We'll see what Teresa Stuck has to say. 24, yeah, Lester Prosper with the first.
It's all based on the traffic. Windsor was really congested on defense. Titans took great advantage of it, especially with their bigs, and that is one key factor even for both of these teams. Challenge their bigs tonight. Even with those scratches on both of your sides, doesn't give you a reason to let up on the big D.
And Paul Cooper can't knock down the first shot. Cooper, we've seen him for many years now in the NBL Canada. Remember seeing him play with the Mississauga Power a few years ago. That franchise is now known as the Raptors 905. For any history buffs there.
Yeah, there you go. And funny enough, Brett, the 905 is currently hosting the D-League Showcase. So, and it was all based because they started from the NBLC. So we cannot stress that enough about the growth this league has gotten, especially from all the leagues.
Yep. Going from the Oshawa Power to the Mississauga Power to the Raptors 905. The progression we've seen in professional basketball in Canada. Quinnell driving and draws the foul. A.J. Davis going to be charged there. Nice move from QB to get himself an offensive look here in the early going.
Quinnell Brown has that power, no question about it. He was able to spin inside. That created that traffic call once again. He knew he was going to get something out of it, and thus he's at the charity stripe.
QB, Windsor, the league's MVP in Windsor's second championship season. Averaged over 20 points a game.
And no question about it, he was severely missed last year. But it shows that he'd even miss a step when he got signed back for the Express.
Well, he had inquired about coming in last year, but by the time his season had finished, I believe he was in Uruguay. We see a nice Lester Prosper block there, but A.J. Davis collects himself and scores for 2.
If you're Windsor, let him have that basket. It was good awareness on the defense. Unfortunately, some shots will go, and sometimes the blocks will go in your favor.
Ward in the middle of the key. Turnaround jumper is good. Warren Ward. Last year's NBL Canadian Player of the Year. Warren Ward out of Ottawa University. Cavell Johnson, who just checked in. Here's Ward with the board. Wally inside to Lester. Cuts through. Lester. Backing down A.J. Harris. And he gets it to go.
Well, I don't know what that was, but luck was on his side. It was all kismet. It was all kismet from right there.
And an offensive foul going to be called. So 2 big plays from Lester Prosper in a row. Yeah, I'm not sure how the hold on that shot wasn't called in the previous possession. Nice job from Lester to use that left hand and scored 4 big points to start the game, and he gets some love and appreciation from the bench as DeAndre Thomas checks into the game.
Another guy who's getting love and appreciation too. Windsor has really tightened up their defense, especially from the last game. They were down by probably about double digits around this time on Wednesday, but Bill Jones, he went back to the drawing board, served as general, and therefore the defense is working well.
Long 2. No good. And a long rebound will go by way of Kitchener-Waterloo. See Lester Prosper getting some work there on the bench from head athletic trainer Aaron Boos. Lester's a big boy. That's a whole lot of back that you can strain, I'm sure.
But the guy's half rubber, so he'll be back in no time.
Say his lower back's probably the size of my back. Cooper at the top of the key, steps into a jumper. Heels out. Warren Ward to his left. Quinnell at the 3. Jab steps, got Cavell in the air. Spinning, shooting, scoring. Quinnell Brown.
About time he got some of his due.
The 3 by Sutherland, no good. And the ball will end up out of bounds, and it will be a Windsor Express ball.
And Brett, not to knock on Kitchener-Waterloo's offense, I mean, those shots you've seen right there, the last 3 they missed, those are the ones they usually make. But unfortunately, they can't get the shot to go. No shooters bounce, nothing.
Midway through the first quarter, we have the Windsor Express up 12-3 over the Kitchener-Waterloo Titans. We'll be back here after the timeout on Knockstrom.tv. Back out of the timeout here on Knoxstrom.tv, and a cold shooting performance for Kitchener-Waterloo so far. That's why they're down 12-3, Aaron.
And once again, they're professionals and masters of the mid-range game, but 1 for 10 so far. That's 10%. But for Windsor, they've been shooting 50% from the field. They're really taking advantage of Kitchener-Waterloo's defense, which has loosened up.
A lot of, in the previous possession, we've seen quite a few points in the paint. A couple perimeter shots done, but as we see a turnover on the inbound play there. Too many Express players in the same area. Blazik leaves it for Cooper. No, it's out of his reach. Here come the Express. Warren Ward with a one-handed slam.
And there you go. That's the man with the goggles. That's the reason why he was a Canadian Player of the Year last year for London. So it's funny enough, Serge Langes is coaching the Titans, but the Express have been getting a surge of offense lately.
Greg Morrow over to Blazik. He stops at the elbow. Can't get it to go. Wally Ellenson with the rebound. Wally for three. Off the mark. Cavell Johnson quickly up the floor to Morrow. Kicks it back out to Cooper, who finds Tremar Sutherland for three. Yes.
It's one way to get it down, the ball movement, and that's what Adam Blazik should keep up with. If he's not making the shots, then he really needs to switch up his games and start passing it around.
See Brandon Kearney going to check into the game shortly. Saw that Brandon recently did an interview with Win City Sports, a radio program out of the University of Windsor. Kearney spent time at MSU, which is right across the border in East Lansing, Michigan, probably 2 hours away. Quinnell Brown looking to, there's Warren Ward for three. Yes, he does. Saw QB trying to post up, but Warren Ward shook him off and knocked down the three.
It was a good decision to wave it off.
Blazik for two.
He got one of those down, but they still need to switch up their game. Pass the ball around, get close to the basket.
Ward finds DeAndre on the roll. Kearney can't hang on to the DeAndre pass. That was a little high and left. And you see, DeAndre saw it too. He's smiling on the floor, knowing that he missed an opportunity.
A bit too generous, but guy has eyes. The back of his head, especially on the side too.
Yeah,
that's what his post game is all about. He is aware of everything, aware of the contact, so he switches his position and makes sure he gets it down.
Morrow lines up on the baseline, gives it back out to Tremar Sutherland. DeAndre Thomas knocks away that pass. Greg Morrow gets it out to Cooper. Quick out to Cavell. Circled the drain. Couldn't find the bottom. DeAndre with the board. High screen. DeAndre sets. Ward shoots. Can't get it to go. Blazik. Saw him last year with Niagara. Had a great season. Cavell. Drives. Back to Blazik. In the corner for Tremar. Stops. Pops. Can't make a drop. And it will be Express ball off of the leg of Paul Cooper.
Back to Adam Blazik, Brett. I mean, he was a good alternate 1-2 punch for Logan Stutz last year. One of the most intimidating combos in the league. But now with Sammy Zeggs coming over and taking charge of that position when Blazik left to Kitchener-Waterloo, it really shifted up the game a bit, and that's where Kitchener-Waterloo got the upper hand.
Kearney. Over to Clinton Springer-Williams. He played at Carleton out of the U Sports program in Canada. There's DeAndre with the turnaround jumper. It's good. Click, click, boom. DeAndre.
That's that power. That's that power in him.
And that has a lot to do with touch, too. You can't really teach that. It all comes with body control and just getting up shots. A miss inside from number 23, Hisham Benayed Sharif. Kearney can't knock down the jumper. Windsor still up 11, 19-8. Here come the Kitchener-Waterloo Titans. And Sutherland will have the ball knocked away by Maurice Jones. Lester Prosper pops up off the bench and replaces DeAndre Thomas for the last 2:13, I will assume.
On that last Kitchener-Waterloo possession, it was a good choice to take it in. Windsor was not set. They took advantage of that, and that's a good backdoor pass.
Yep, good steal from Paul Cooper there, leads to the bucket. And Kitchener-Waterloo hits double digits, 19-10. Windsor leads. And a foul going to be called on Tremik Sutherland, who just checked in.
He's got his hands caught in the cookie jar, and that would lead to that foul. Kitchener-Waterloo, they were very smart in the last few possessions. In the assist game, they really need to get on that. They're down 2-6, but if they keep up the strength, they'll be back in it in no time.
Quinnell turning. Takes the harm, and he'll go to line for two. Quinnell Brown using his body to draw that foul. Quick update for our friends out in the East Coast. The Island Storm currently up 13-9 over the Niagara River Lions.
And to get back on that, Brett, this is basically a game of redemption. As you heard, Daquan Cook is playing for the Island Storm now as of tonight, and he played for the River Lions last year, so it's a good game. It's pretty bittersweet if you're a Daquan Cook fan from Niagara, but still, it's good to see the big guy back at it.
Absolutely, good to see him getting his opportunity with Coach Joe Salerno and the Island Storm. Paul Cooper puts the push-up up, and it's good.
He was very aware of that entry pass. He used all of his force on his left side to take advantage of it.
Springer, no. Quick shot selection. Quickly up the floor is Tremik, and committing the foul is Maurice Jones. Quick A to B drive there from Tremik, draws the foul with 1:26 to go. KW making a little bit of a push here in the late going. 9-point lead for Windsor right now.
Because it was all based on the crisp passes. They made them short, and they started exploding into the basket.
And Morrow draws the foul. He would go to the free throw line, Greg Morrow. Morrow, formerly of the University of Western Mustangs. Aaron, we had a chance to call Lancers versus Mustangs a few weeks ago at the St. Denis Center. That was a good time.
It was a really close game. Women's team did it justice, and then of course you had the return of Cheyenne Roger, and for the men's, they really came down the wire. The Lancers won it by 7 points, so it was a good show.
Yeah, it was a good show. Windsor had a little bit of a lead at halftime, but Western was able to bounce back, and then 2 nights later beat Windsor 90-65. So good for the Mustangs. Brandon Kearney drives, and he draws some contact. He'll go to the free throw line. Good, confident drive there from Brandon Kearney, who's been coming more into form as of late for the Windsor Express.
It was a good take. It was a good take for him too, and for Kitchener-Waterloo, it was a good stop for them too. Even though they drew the foul, they realized right now the streak they have going on at this very moment to deny anything inside, even if it's a foul or even if it's a whiff that leads to the transition game. So they're doing a good job in this last 2 minutes defensively. But once again, it was a good drive on Windsor's side. We have a game break. St. John Riptide, they're at Cape Breton to face the Highlanders. Riptide up 12 in the third, 75-67. Anthony Anderson having another basic game of himself, 19 points. And the Riptide has been really clicking on cylinders, even though they picked up a couple of losses along the way within the last week.
Kearney set to shoot the second. And he knocks it down, Brandon Kearney. 22-14, the Windsor Express lead. Alex Campbell and Gernard Giroux in the game for Windsor now. Shamar. Jamel Harris, perimeter jumper, no good. And Alex Campbell pushing the ball in transition. Campbell, former University of Windsor Lancer. would have battled against Greg Morrow last season, and there they are. And Greg Morrow comes up big on that play.
And he wins on that possession, too.
20 seconds to go, 6-point lead for Windsor, 22-16. Alex Campbell. Campbell gets pushed off the three-point line, drives, shoots, but gets the ball knocked away. 1.1 seconds to go here in the first quarter.
And that last possession, Brett, it was all because he lost his balance, wasn't able to get a good quality shot off. We got a timeout called by Windsor.
Yeah, we're going to have one more possession here of the first quarter when we return the end of the first quarter on Knockstrom.tv. You got a picture of us doing it.
Well, we have 1.1 second left. The only option right now is to catch it and shoot it for Windsor. I mean, once again, the previous play, Alex Campbell lost his footing, wasn't able to get a good shot off, but Windsor regains the ball.
If you ask me, Alex hung on to that ball a little bit too long. Needs to be more confident in his passing ability, to be able to get more guys involved. We saw here on Wednesday put into a similar situation where he turned the ball over twice, I believe, in under a minute. And there's a near turnover, and Alex puts up the shot.
Oh.
So Campbell was Johnny on the spot. Unfortunately, he can't knock down the jumper. The Windsor Express have a good start, but the Kitchener-Waterloo have a better start in the second half of the first quarter. Windsor at 22-16. Aaron, your quick thoughts.
Kitchener-Waterloo did a really great job offensively in the last few, like you said. The assist game was very strong for them. They were able to read defensively and offensively. Windsor usually sets up on the 2-3 zone, but for Kitchener-Waterloo's sake, it was all kismet for them. They read the entry passes. They did very well, and you cannot knock Windsor too, because they really got off on a really terrific start, which it's uncommon for them at the start of this season, but they are up 6, and that's the story.
That's right. Kitchener-Waterloo trailing by 6 to the Windsor Express. We'll be right back here on Knockstrom.tv. All right, welcome back here. Second quarter action, folks. The KW Titans with a big push at the end of the first quarter, getting themselves within 6. And here's Tremere Sutherland. Tremere is blocked from Gernard Giroux.
Great anticipation from Giroux. He read it well, and he was all alone in the paint, which means he went to work.
Kearney to his right, kicks it in the corner for Giroux. Finds Jones back at the top of the key. Oh, and Giroux with the follow after Lester Prosper couldn't finish the left-handed layup.
A very underrated 1-2 punch for the Windsor Express.
The The 5-4 combo of Lester and Giroux. There's Chamar, down low to Cavell, working against Lester. And Cavell can't get it to go, but gets the board and scores. Interesting play there. We saw after the shovel pass to Cavell, almost like a mini screen set by Chamar there, and gave Cavell some space. Get a shot off.
And those two guys are really smooth when it comes to off-ball situations, and especially on screen.
Giroux, too short. Tremik in transition, takes the bump, and he'll draw the foul. Tremik Sutherland from point A to point B, getting it done and getting himself to the free throw line.
And it's those chances that's going to bring Kitchener-Waterloo back. It's just starting up on the transition, making sure you're set, being aware who's on your left, who's on your right, and then you just go straight down the middle and try to finish strong.
Windsor ranks in the top half in the league in categories such as blocks per game, free throw percentage, and three-point percentage. They have a 75% shooting ability from the charity stripe and are 36% from beyond the arc. So some good numbers for the Windsor Express there, but it has been their points in the paint this year that has affected them.
It has killed them too, and it also led to their very low points in the game. We rarely see Windsor in the last few years average about 100 points a game. This year that isn't the case, almost 98, challenging Kitchener-Waterloo, who is second straight when it comes to points allowed.
Keep you updated with some more league notes and team notes. Warren Ward on the catch and shoot, no good. And Benayad Sharif with the rebound. Nice find from Greg Morrow to a cutting Benayad Sharif.
He took matters in his own hands. He was free as a bird with that left hand.
Maurice Jones to Giroux. Quick spin in the low post, and he scores.
That move was so cool. Really caught them off.
When you see a mismatch like that with Giroux on Greg Moore, you got to go to it, I'm assuming.
And it's rarely see mismatches on KW's defense, too.
And Paul Cooper will draw a foul on DeAndre Thomas. That's a good matchup down low between two bigs. And a pair of substitutions going to come into the game for the Express. Giroux and Kearney check out. Quinnell and Wally check in.
The way this game is going right now, Windsor wants to look to expand their shooting. That's where Wally Ellison comes in and tighten up inside. So you got Quinnell and DeAndre to do the business inside.
Cooper knocks down the first. Trims the Windsor lead further. Cooper splits the pair. Quinnell hands it off to Maurice, and they set up the offense.
And Maurice is very underrated, leading in steals with almost 3 a game. And he was one of the players of the game when they played against London on Wednesday, DeAndre Thomas.
For 2, the mini skyhook from DeAndre. And DeAndre's going to have to draw a foul, commit a foul once again. Nice shot from Paul Cooper to seal off DeAndre. Might have got an arm in there, but DeAndre will have to shake it off. He's no stranger to picking up a couple fouls early and often during his time here.
And absolutely, he's another half of the emotional leader for the Windsor Express, so he really has to take his signs in check, because if he keeps on fouling like that, he's going to be very limited until the string end of the second half.
Gets the defensive board there after challenging Cooper. Jones, the top of the key to DeAndre, up fake, and he's going to travel, says Teresa Stuck.
It was worth the bargain for DeAndre to try that, but he was double teamed. He wasn't going to get anywhere anyhow. Titans were really good in picking up at the mid-range.
Adam Wing over to Blazik. Steps inside the three-point line, brushes off the defender, and scores.
And like I said, mismatches, he defies any mismatches with that great ball awareness and the body language inside. Speaking of body language.
And DeAndre Thomas mishandles that one. And it will go the other way, and Lester Prosper will check in for the fatigued DeAndre Thomas. DeAndre had 17 points in Wednesday's game against London.
And that's really great for the process he had to go through in the last year and a half. To me, he was a great player of the night candidate. Even though they didn't pick up the win, I'm sure it was a moral victory for him.
No moral victories for the London Lightning. They unfortunately lost Garrett Williamson during that game to an injury. Cavell Johnson with a jumper there, can't get it to go, and he gets it back off the glass and good. So Garrett Williamson goes down for the London Lightning, and fortunately for them, they signed Doug Herring Jr.
A former St. John Mill Rat, a.k.a. Riptide. I mean, he's one of the seasoned NBLC veterans, so it was a great pickup for him.
Such a good slasher.
Indeed.
Really hard to defend off the bounce. As Maurice Jones in the Express launched the shot. No good. Blazik in transition. And Wally Ellenson is going to be called for reaching in. That's Wally's first. Adam Blazik going to go to the free throw line. The lefty.
Individually, the Windsor Express have to realize when to drop out and when to step up on the defensive end, because so far they have allowed Kitchener-Waterloo to outscore them, now 12-6 in this quarter. That ties it up. They're looking for their first lead tonight, but it's the individual defense that's been really lacking on Windsor's side. Not the team defense, it's just individually, because they cannot pick up on the off-ball rotation and the screens. Kitchener-Waterloo have their first lead of the game.
And after a great start for the Windsor Express, the Kitchener-Waterloo Titans have matriculated down the field and scored, and DeAndre Thomas can't knock it down. There's a push foul, I believe, on the rebound. That was going to go against... I believe that's going to go against Benayat Sharif. Yep. Quinnell Brown down low. We're going to get Adam Wing turning, shooting, and a forearm in the back will prompt a call from the official, Paul Carter. That shot is on the floor, so it will be Express possession with 14 to shoot.
I want to draw attention to how effective KW's bench is. They have outscored Windsor's bench 15-9 thus far. One of the key reasons why they're back into this game. Adam Wing.
Nice defensive play there from Warren Ward. Saves the basket. Here comes Ward on the offensive end. No good. A.J. Davis with the board. Blazik puts an up fake, gets Maurice Jones moving, but he can't knock down the jumper. QB with the board. Lester.
There's Wally.
Wally can't knock it down. And Cavell Johnson spinning in the lane and scores.
And he's been known to doing that ever since he came into the NBLC, Brett. Being able to go strong, he was able to flip it up with his right hand. It was a beautiful look for him. Not so pleasurable for Windsor.
And on the possession, Windsor will lose it, and it will be Kitchener-Waterloo ball. The KW Titans up 31-28. The Windsor Express looking to respond here with 5:37 left in the second. We'll be back here after the timeout on Knockstrom.tv.
As we return to this game, Brett, one X factor for the Windsor Express, one of their negative factors is finding their own tempo, and they have been really up and down with it in the early goings of this season. They're down by 3 right now, so they have to find their niche ASAP.
Have an offensive foul on the play, so we'll go the other way. Really cool to see Henry Ellenson in the house tonight, the Detroit Pistons first-round pick, checking out his brother in action.
And I don't see why not. I mean, the Ellisons are a great family for sports, and it's a pleasure to see them down here in the Rose City.
Henry Ellenson, first-round pick. Maurice Jones on the stop and start, gets his own offensive board off the tip from Lester.
You see, he got lucky right there. He had 2 various looks for the open man, but he decided to take it up himself when he did not have the setup for the shot.
Wally crossing over to his left and scores.
I bet you his brother Henry is very content about that drive.
Cavell. And he's going to draw a foul on Lester, I believe. And DeAndre Thomas is going to check into the game now. Actually, when Pioneer University was playing at the University of Windsor earlier this year, I was in the stands, and a friend of Henry's was playing in the game, and he was a few seats away from me, and I didn't even know it. It wasn't until team photographer Kevin Gerald came up and told me that was Henry Ellenson.
Blind luck.
Just goes to show how much NBA I watch as compared to NBLC.
That's right.
Off the miss from the Windsor Express. Or sorry, from Kitchener-Waterloo. Here come the Express. Ellenson over to QB. Gets a high screen from Dre. And knocks it down. The tray. And the Express regain the lead, Aaron.
And they were all up on Quinnell Brown's face, but he decided, you know what, I'm going to do it. We need some sort of shots going on because the way the offense is going on for the Titans, they have to find some way to stop it and break that trend.
Paul Cooper. Oh, and he gets the shot to fall. Gets a soft touch from the rims.
Talk about a friendly bounce. Get the shooter's touch, you get the shooter's bounce.
Jones at the top of the key, playing give and go with DeAndre. And it will be a kickball. Benayed Sheriff. Kickball, and then Tremar Sutherland going to check in. 3:29 to go here in the first half.
Maurice couldn't find his footing on that entry pass, and that's been one of his struggles this evening, being able to balance the ball. And speaking of balance the ball, over in the back.
Unfortunate turnover for the Windsor Express. Tie game, 33 up with 3:28 to go. Blazik knocks down the runner in transition.
He's getting back right into his game, making sure he goes through his opponents. Even though the mismatches are heavy, he makes sure he puts up a good quality shot.
Ellenson over to Jones. And a 3-second violation going to be called against the Windsor Express. Unfortunate pair of turnovers for the Express on consecutive possessions.
But irregardless, still a tight game. 2 points separating these two clubs.
Blazik. And that passes out of the hands of Paul Cooper, and it will be Windsor Express basketball. Jones working against Blazik, trying to open up. DeAndre Thomas down low, working against Paul Cooper. Spinning, getting it away. Wally Ellenson with an up fake. Shoots. Yes, it's good for 3. Kid brother tested, big brother approved. Wally Ellenson for 3. Oh, and a beautiful slam by A.J. Davis.
Hint, hint. There's your top tenner.
From number 10 for the KW Titans. Beautiful drive and finish. Quinnell Brown. And Wally knocks down another 3, but there's a foul on the play underneath the basket. And Wally with consecutive 3-pointers puts the Windsor Express up 39-37. The foul on the shot away from the play will give Windsor possession once again. Quinnell. Over to Warren Ward. 6 to shoot. Ward to his left. Mishandles it, and it will be KW basketball. And a timeout going to be called by the Kitchener-Waterloo Titans with 1:37 left in the second quarter. Windsor up 39-37. We will be back here after the timeout here on Knockstrom.tv. Don't go anywhere, folks. All right, back here out of the timeout, 1:35 to go here in the second. Aaron Sanders getting ready for the halftime show with Justin Prince, so it's Solo Jones for Brett up top. Blazik. Paul Cooper kicks it out to Davis, who had that highlight reel slam, no call. Jones gets inside the three-point line. DeAndre Thomas down low on the inbound. Can't get the shot to fall. Paul Cooper stands tall. 1 minute to go here in the second. Blazik turns to his left. And Adam Wing can't meet the pass. Wing was in the corner. Blazik threw it out to the foul line extended spot. And that will be knocked out of bounds by Paul Cooper. Will be Windsor Express ball. And Warren Ward for three. It's good. It's time, Warren. It's Warren's world. 30 to go here in the second. 42-37, Windsor up. Cooper, high post. Tells Morrow to cut. Gives it back to Blazik. 20 to shoot in the quarter. Blazik on the baseline. Cooper with the O board. 10 to shoot. Kicks it out to A.J. Davis. He nearly knocks down the shot. DeAndre with the ball. 2 seconds to go. Jones for three. No. What an exciting end to the first half. The Windsor Express with a 42-37 lead over the Kitchener Waterloo Titans. We'll let our halftime show get ready. A great first half for the Windsor Express. First half scoring has been a problem for them this season. After the first quarter, they're up 22-16, and then we're able to score 20 points compared to Kitchener Waterloo's 21. Let's send it down to the halftime show with Aaron Sanders and Justin Prince. Take it away, boys.
Radio 42-37 at the half. Windsor Express get their lead back. Here courtside for the Knoxtrom halftime. Aaron Sanders alongside JP, Justin Prince. And one thing I've seen, JP, despite everything, Windsor has yet to found a consistent tempo when it comes to the first half.
Yes, right now it seems like at the beginning it seemed both teams just continue to struggle at first, of course, especially Kitchener-Waterloo in that first quarter. The same thing seemed to come along for Windsor in that second half. So right now, both teams on offensive flow need to start getting things together because there's been strings of missed shots in a row, then made shots in a row. Someone needs to get the momentum here.
But on the other hand, I've seen a little bit of the shoot-arounds from social media this morning, and everybody was talking about how Bill Jones was revitalizing this team after that tough loss to London on Wednesday, and it looks like so far they have the tools to do it.
Yeah, they're looking like they have the tools to do it, especially with players stepping up like Wally Ellenson, who has his brother Henry Ellenson in the building tonight, as well as players such as Warren Ward also stepping up tonight for Windsor. That's for sure. And
they have no choice but to step it up. I mean, they got a big scratch, Nick Evans, so who fills in the void? You look at Jannard Giroux and Lester Prosper, and so far looking at all this, Giroux has only dropped 4 points, and Lester Prosper 4 points as well. They added 8 so far. I mean, of course, that's not enough to fill in the void, but they're really doing it justice when it comes to the front line.
Yeah, right now it seems like that's for sure. Or right now, you have to wonder what adjustments they can make for sure, especially with Nick Evans. You're missing a giant gap right there because he's your leading rebounder for much of the season. He was at one point your leading scorer, and when he wasn't in foul trouble, he was dominating games, getting double-doubles. So that's a missing void for sure tonight, and right now they need to figure out a way to fill that still in the second half.
And they're doing it well. I mean, they're keeping it consistent, but the problem is the KW Titans are leading in points to the paint 20-16. But it's hard to figure that out considering how big of a job DeAndre Thomas done despite picking up a couple of few fouls, which has been his niche.
Yeah, DeAndre Thomas playing very well tonight so far, at least. He's to step things up with the gap with Nick Evans, that's for sure. We'll have to see how he plays as the game goes on, of course, in the second half. He was struggling a little bit coming back at first from, of course, he was injured last season, had a season-ending injury last year.
Right.
Has been back in the past couple games. He's slowly getting back into the grid, coming off the bench, but he's slowly getting better and so forth. And that's continuing tonight.
He was player of the game last time with 17 points, perfect from the charity stripe, as we've mentioned so many times. Kitchener-Waterloo, Adam Blazik, he was a little bit slow, and that's really unusual for his game, but he's the leading scorer with 8 points. Wally Ellison on the other side putting on a spectacle, a great exhibition in front of his brother Henry, putting up 11 points. Now we switch over to the out-of-town scores. There's 2 games going on right now. The Island Storm and the Niagara River Lions, or as most people are saying, Daquan Cook's homecoming. Daquan Cook, he was part of Niagara last year for their inaugural season. He was just to the Island Storm so far, and they're up 57-55. It's a pretty good game to look at considering how consistent the Island Storm is and how Niagara's still trying to put their foot back in the door.
Yes, right now that game is going back and forth and is very close so far. And both teams are performing well, in my opinion, so far. Are especially shooting the lights out. 61% for the Island Storm, 51% from Niagara. They're absolutely stroking it from the field tonight. So right now, those 2 teams playing very well, with Niagara especially, in my opinion. Then you have the other matchup going on tonight as well.
Yes, and on Island's side, that's been the name of the game the whole season. They have really been surprising the league, despite how good the Riptide are doing. Speaking of the Riptide, they're in Cape Breton once again to face the Highlanders. They're in fourth quarter action right now. Riptide look about to take it away, 103-82, less than a minute to go. Game's leading scorer, Anthony Anderson, once again, 24 points. We on this so many times about how big of an impact the Riptide players are, like Gabe Freeman and Anthony Anderson. Anthony Anderson really making it justice.
Yes, right now, definitely for sure on the scoring end right now. Though for that St. John squad stepping up for sure. Right now, that's been the whole model for them this season with Gabe Freeman as well as Anthony Anderson, both of them hitting their shots as well. So, and just to point things out too, the last time I checked that score, it was 90-82. That's how fast St. John put things to bed tonight, that's for sure. So they just pulled it away and sealed the deal in these past few minutes.
And they had no question to do it. They dropped a couple of tough wins, and now they're trying to get back on the winning edge. They're in second place right now, right behind the undefeated Halifax Hurricanes. And we're going to have to see how those 2 teams fare out when they play each other again. Let's switch back to here in the Rose City. If you are Serge Langis, what do you do to persevere and come up with a surprising victory over the Windsor Express?
Well, right now, I would try and figure out a way to shut down that offensive end, shut down Wally Ellison, and try and force some more turnovers. Right now, the main issue, in my opinion, for Kitchener-Waterloo is also their ball control at points. Because at one point, it was a 4-2 turnover advantage at the start of the game. So they've been turning over the ball a fair amount so far in this game. So right now, they need to turn that around, get the ball handling under control, get some high-quality shots, and try and stop as many shots as possible, of course, on the defensive end, or else Windsor will pull away, because Windsor, for much of the season, has been a second-half team when they've won their games. And Windsor has won both their games coming into this one against the Titans so far, so they have to figure out a way to shut them down, to keep them in this game, Kitchener-Waterloo, for that fourth quarter to try and get the victory.
I mentioned at the top of the telecast that KW has to challenge their bigs. Nick Evans is out, but you've seen Jerome Prosper and DeAndre Thomas do damage to the point where they're not missing anybody. They're up 5 at the moment, but if you're Bill Jones, what do you have to do? You have the tools to do it, but how can you overcome and come up with a big win?
Well, right now, one thing for sure is try and get those shots, try and figure out a way to stop players like Bell Johnson as well as Paul Cooper right now. Now, they've been doing a fairly decent job, in my opinion, doing that, but they have to figure out with the rebounds. Like Lester Prosper struggling at times with the rebounds. Johnson has been out rebounding him at times, it seems, tonight. So they have to figure out a way to get the rebounding under control. They have to figure out a way for Windsor to get the scoring continuously consistent. They can't have 5 shots missed and make 2 shots or whatever. They need consistent shooting throughout the rest of the night to have a chance here.
I have to say this, and this is a one-liner. I think everybody forgets to give Kitchener-Waterloo the benefit of the doubt. They're a very underrated team. You want to know why? Because they always keep it tight and stuff. So there you go, 42-37 at the half. Very close game so far, but these two teams are known to come up with a dramatic second half. Kitchener-Waterloo, they're among the top of the high scoring almost more than 100 points per game. Windsor Express, they really need to get on that on the scoring surge. We'll see how that unfolds for the last 24 minutes. I will be back with Brett on the call. JP, I'll see you at the post-game down courtside. And folks, we will see you in just a couple of minutes for the second half, as we mentioned. But now we pause for this. Welcome back, folks. Start of the second half. Windsor Express looking to expand their lead more than 5. That's how much they led during the intermission, and a little shove off right there in the opening 14 seconds of this one.
Sorry about that. I got stuck in the elevator on the way up.
Uh-oh.
Had a quick little chat at halftime with Henry Ellenson. Warren Ward for 3. Ooh, nearly knocks down the triple there while drawing the foul.
We almost had another 4-point play.
Henry is Wally's younger brother by 3 years. Wally born in 1994. 1997, Henry was born. So he's 19, maybe 20 years old, playing in the NBA.
He's playing in the NBA. Well, they're known for picking up plenty of young players, really in their prime. But this is a great family gathering for the Ellisons.
Ward knocks down the first, so he'll get 2 more. Wally played 4 years at Marquette, played his final season at Minnesota. Holds a number of Marquette high jump records in track and field for the varsity team as well.
So we shouldn't be surprised if he goes up for a slam anytime soon, right?
Absolutely. Wally Ellenson's got the springs.
Adam Blazek so far, he was very slow in the early goings, but really getting back into his game, bringing it up to the top and driving inside.
And knocking it down. Jamel Harris finishing the Adam Blazek pass. Inside the lane for 2. DeAndre Thomas going to pick up that foul.
And that has been one of the vices for the Windsor Express. They're big guys taking in unnecessary fouls, even though they have a good effort, but that ends up biting them when they have to go take a seat. So they have to be very careful on the contact situations, or DeAndre will take a seat in the long run.
Down low, DeAndre hands off to Wally. Long 2, off the mark. Wally had a pretty good first half. When we get a sentence, we'll talk about some stats and facts from the first half. Paul Cooper with the offensive board. Jamel Harris, up fake. Can't get the shot to fall, but Paul Cooper on the rebound gets it to go.
Paul Cooper really warming up. And as a big guy he is, he has no choice but to warm up. Now he got his team within 3.
Wally. DeAndre, long 2, off the mark. Blazek, down low on Adam Wing. And Wally with the rebound there. Wing puts it off the front rim. Wally steps into a 3. It's good!
Welcome to Wally World.
That's his 3rd 3, I believe. Blazek in the high post for Paul Cooper. Paul Cooper nearly loses it out of bounds. Blazek working against Maurice Jones. 3 to shoot, puts it up. Blazek, short. Ward.
He barely hit iron on that one. Unfortunate.
Ward is good for 2, and the Express hit 50. And 1. A.J. Davis takes a bump from Wally Ellenson. He had a long way to come back from his place on the offensive set to come back and make that play on defense. He's having a quick chat. Nope. Bill Jones brushes him off, said, keep playing what you're doing.
Titans are really jabbing into the heart of the Windsor Express. They know they have foul trouble situations, and they're really going right into it. They are really persevering right now, diving inside, making sure they finish strong, or in the last resort, try to go to the line and make this a single-digit game. And of course, that's what they're known for too, being third in the league in free throw percentage shooting. So it's 3 versus 2 in this one.
Quinnell tried to draw a foul, and a nice play from A.J. Davis going straight to the cup for 2, cuts this lead to 3.
Again, those strong finishes, being able to pick up.
Jones takes a bump from Cooper, swings it back to Ellenson. Jab fake, kicks to Jones. He steps inside the 3. Quinnell for 3. Yes. QB for 3.
And that's a binger. That's a binger. Being third in the league in three-point shooting. Quinnell Brown just making it justice and a good drive inside.
Beautiful reverse finish from A.J. Davis.
A.J. Davis really leading in the second half thus far, making sure the Titans keep this as contested as it is.
Last week in our contest against Kitchener-Waterloo, it was A.J. Davis who led the Titans in scoring, I believe with 24 points. Quinnell can't get it to go, but he gets his own board and he scores for 2.
I believe they call that a QB sneak, Brett. Good look.
Jamel Harris. Paul Cooper. He misses. DeAndre Thomas tips it out. And here come the Express in transition.
There you go.
Alley-oop. And Warren Ward finishes. No slam dunk there, but it's all adds up to 2 points. And A.J. Davis comes back and scores right away.
With the rebuttal himself.
Transition defense has been an issue for the Windsor Express the last few possessions. Jones. Mid-range jumper, no good.
No need for that. He had plenty of space to make up his mind and get a closer shot. I think he realized that once he let it go because Kitchener-Waterloo was well prepared for the rebound.
A.J. Davis scores again. 3 straight possessions.
If I was Bill Jones, I'd call a timeout right now. This guy is killing. He's killing the competition so far.
Ward finds DeAndre on the roll. Euro step, puts up the jumper. A.J. Davis. Warren Ward checks in on him. He crosses over right to the cup. The follow from Jamel Harris is no good as well. Nice play from DeAndre to keep it in bounds.
Henry, you're going to like this. Or
Just a
thought
miss.
so.
Unfortunate. DeAndre Thomas steps in the lane. Commits the foul, and A.J. Davis going to go to the line for 2. 57-53, the Windsor Express lead over KW. 6:09 to go here in the third. DeAndre Thomas, that will be his 4th foul committed. We are playing without the services of Nick Evans tonight, who has been held out for precautionary reasons after taking a pretty bad spill on Wednesday.
This is a guy that usually gets bopped around so often. A big guy like him is usually known for that. I mean, last week against Kitchener-Waterloo, he was bopped in the nose. He came back with a vengeance. And then, of course, the last game took a big tumble. I mean, that they had to pay the price for that. But nonetheless, most of the bigs are really filling in that void Windsor Express has had within the last 48 hours.
That trip 0 for 2. Jones. Inside to Quinnell Brown. Keeps his pivot foot. Working against Cavell. Rising, shooting, scoring.
It was that extra advantage he had on his reach to get it off, so it didn't look uncontested.
A.J. Davis gets bumped from Lester Prosper, no call.
He shall not prosper.
Quinnell thought about giving inside to Lester for the alley-oop, but Lester seals off Paul Cooper, and he'll draw the foul on the entry pass instead. And that will prompt a timeout call here The Windsor Express up 59-53, I believe. Unless there's a mistake on the scoreboard. We'll be right back here on Knockstrom.tv. Don't go anywhere.
Hey fans, a quick stat line review for you. Now you know Kitchener-Waterloo Titans had a very slow start, but they're really driving it inside, which is killing the Windsor Express right now. They're outscoring them 34-20 in the paint, Brett, which is big damage for them, and luckily the Express are outscoring them by 1 point in this quarter, 17-16. So call that luck if you will.
The Windsor Express turn it over on that inbound play. Jones was looking for Lester Prosper. It ended up in the hands of Shermeek Sutherland. He scores, but the foul will be committed on the floor. KW ball on the far sideline. Cavell Johnson over to Greg Morrow. He finishes with the reverse layup.
That was a beautiful look. Windsor was static. They thought they were trying to go man-to-man, but unfortunately they did not read deep enough.
Morrow was a 4-time OUA All-Star with the Western Mustangs during his days playing in CIS or U Sports competition. Warren Ward for 3. Off the mark. Shermeek over to Morrow. Back to Shermeek. Takes the bump. Puts the shot up, no good. Quinnell. Back to Quinnell. He rises and shoots for 3. No good. Brandon Kearney set to check back in shortly. Greg Morrow. Back at the top of the key, it's Morrow. Benayat Sheriff. Ooh, when he gets it to fall, the three-pointer is good.
That was a brutal shot. That gives them 2 of 9 from three-point shooting, but boy, that was a tough shot. He barely got it off with his left hand.
1 point lead for the Windsor Express. Warren Ward off the glass. The follow by Lester is no good.
And these are the types of mistakes that are damaging the Express hopes right now.
Tremar has his shot blocked. Wally seemed to land on his left foot. He's walking gingerly. Closes out. Switch in the corner for Cavell. It's no good. Quinnell finally ends up with the rebound.
The Express, they need to slow down the tempo right now. Take that easy deuce, put it in, and you got that. And that's one way to do it.
Live long and prosper. Lester gets behind the defense and scores. And 1. Lester's been playing that energy role as of late for the Windsor Express. Thrust into the starting lineup tonight with the absence of Nick Evans. Pretty good night for Lester so far.
6 points at the present time for Lester. It's a pretty close rebounding game too. Talking about 33-28 at the moment. Could not get that and 1 to go, but he's really warming up here in the third quarter.
KW in their offense. Shermeek. Benayat Sheriff Step back jumper, can't get it to go. Quinnell with another rebound. Good rebounding game from Quinnell as well. Jones. It's good. Nice definitive drive from Maurice Jones. He adds 2 points to the Express lead.
And that's his first 2 points of the game too, Brett, to mention. And I said earlier he was losing his footing early on in the game and he has to pass out more, but now he's really getting into the scoring drive.
And Maurice Jones with a nice defensive play there. Knocks it off of Tremeke Sutherland and it goes out of bounds and will be Windsor ball. So back-to-back plays from Maurice. Kearney on the jump. No good. And Lester, he passes it over to Wally Ellenson.
Once again, Wally World. 16 points so far for him, Brett.
Very good. Benayat Sharif. No good. Lester Prosper got a hand on it, but it ends up in the grasp of Maurice Jones. Jab step for Wally. Off the glass, it's good.
2 straight scoring plays from Wally Ellenson, really leading the Windsor offense. Really taking bumps in the defensive end, but he's getting his reward coming back.
The Windsor Express up 9, 67-58, 2:02 left in the third quarter here at the WFCU. We'll be back here on Knockstrom.tv. Coming back out of the timeout, the Windsor Express up 9, Aaron, and what did the stats say to you today?
Well, Wally Ellenson is really putting on a great exhibition. 18 points for him. He has 3 rebounds to his name. On the other end, A.J. Davis keeping the KW Titans into this business, 15 points. And we see another pick away.
Nice job from Lester Prosper stepping in the lane there and creating that steal. Here he goes, trying to finish his own play. Oh, can't get the shot to fall. That's a good look for Lester, though.
And Windsor really kicking up in the points in the paint, too. They have an 8-point difference on Kitchener-Waterloo. They still have the advantage, 36-28.
And another active hand from Quinnell Brown will knock the ball off of Tremar Sutherland on his drive. Windsor Express have forced another turnover. And Maurice Jones. Top of the key. Wally's swinging on the other side of the floor. Gets it. Turns the corner. Over to Kearney. Kearney drives and scoops and scores! Count the basket and the foul.
What a good take from Brandon Kearney. Picked up on the weak side. He decided to take matters in own hands. Drive in, got the contact, was able to finish it off strong off the glass. And with that, he has 3 points to his name.
Kearney looking to complete the three-point play at the free throw line. Give the Windsor Express a 12-point lead. Off the front, and it will be an 11-point lead for the Express. Blazik calls the play for the Titans. Morrow looked back door, but gives it up to Blazik. Blazik in the middle of the key, takes the bump, and he'll draw the foul. Brandon Kearney going to be called for that one. And Adam Blazik to the free throw line. Somewhere the Kitchener Waterloo Titans haven't been too often here today, if I'm not mistaken. 10 for 12. More so than the Windsor Express, I should say. Pardon me.
And they're shooting 70% from the line at the moment. That probably dropped off of that. Once again, this game has to go into Adam Blazek's hands to be aware up top, look for good passes and be able to drive, because that's been Windsor's game, and they've been able to expand this lead. So really get it where it counts. Drive inside and look for good passes.
Yeah, I gotta agree with you that the offense has to go through Adam Blazek if AJ Davis is off the floor. Windsor up 10 after the split pair of free throws. Quinnell facing up on Greg Morrow, rising, shooting off the glass. It's good. It's Friday night, but the bank is open. Quinnell Brown for 2. And there's Lester with the steal.
Do not prosper. No.
But a great hustle play from Lester will get him to the free throw line. He's been playing up in that passing lane all game long, and he gets rewarded there.
And they needed that. Once again, Biggs taking matters in their own hands.
If you've got an athletic 5 that can get out, that can cover the passing lane and deny that lane, why wouldn't you have him do it? If you can get back on defense, even better. So Lester Prosper at the line for 2 with 12-point lead. And he gets the first one to fall.
And Kitchener-Waterloo knows Lester Prosper is all around. You think he, the guy his height, could really step up well in defense, but when you get him in the transition game, that's a force to be reckoned with.
Splits the pair of free throws, so Lester adds a point to the Express lead with 12 seconds to go here in the third. 72-59. Blazek defended by Jones closely. 5 to shoot. 4 to shoot. He's got to go, and Jones commits the foul. 3.6 to shoot.
They had a foul to give, so they use that.
Quavell Johnson catches and shoots, and he's going to be charged. I believe that's Lester Prosper going to be called for the foul.
That was bad timing on his end. I mean, good execution, but it was the wrong timing for him. I mean, he's doing such a great job in this quarter.
Third personal foul for the prosperous one, Lester. And Quavell Johnson misses the first free throw, so with 1 second to go.
Split the second one. We have shoving foul on the baseline.
Gonna be, I believe Lester Prosper is gonna be called for that one. He tried to just take it out of the baseline. And Shamar, I believe it was one of the Sutherlands, was on the baseline as well. Lester gave him a little shove.
Yeah, I didn't know what he was doing at that end. I mean, those last 2 possessions, the Express needed that one. They needed to play smart on that one, but unfortunately, Lester Prosper tried to go one step too many and did not pick up on the Express tempo. Now they put 5/10 of the second back on the clock.
Full second to shoot, and for KW. Morrow on the catch and shoot. No good, and that will be the end of the third quarter here. The Windsor Express up 72-60. We'll be back here for the fourth on Knoxstrom.tv.
closing time here at the WFCU Center. Windsor Express take a 12-point lead over the Titans, 72-60. We break down the stats for you. Windsor Express doing much better in the field goal range, 44% compared to KW's 36. The assist game has been pretty strong for the Express, and why not? It was a pretty strong third quarter for the team altogether. 21-11 in the assist game. Windsor Express outscoring the Titans 30-23, which is rare for them to score 30 points in a quarter this season. Brett.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah, 30 points. 30-point quarter is a very good quarter for the Windsor Express. 30-point third quarter, can't go wrong with that. Gernard Giroux picked up the foul on the previous possession. Here come the K-Dub Titans. A.J. Davis back in the game, gives it up to Paul Cooper. Spin move from Blazik, but he's blocked from Maurice Jones.
Great contest by Maurice.
Oh, the offensive board goes in the hands of Blazik, but there's Maurice Jones crashing the floor for it. Gives it up to Wally. Slams it down for the one hand.
Henry, if you're watching this, you better watch the replay. You got to be mighty proud of your brother. And we mentioned the vertical. Will we see that tonight? Yes, we did.
The older brother of Henry Ellenson. And a block from Gernard Giroux.
The wings have expanded for the Windsor Express, Brett.
Gernard Giroux. Two-handed slam.
Boy.
And a timeout going to be called by the Kitchener-Waterloo Titans.
Look at that transition game, very strong right out of the gate for the fourth quarter. Expanding this lead, expanding their wings, start off with the Wally Ellison slam, and then we got this possession right here. Perfect execution.
Couldn't have said it better myself. We're going to take a short timeout here away from the game. Knockstrom.tv, we'll be back shortly after the timeout. Welcome back out of the timeout. The Kitchener-Waterloo Titans looking to get back into it. They're trailing by 16 points after a great start to the fourth quarter by the Express, highlighted by a pair of slams from Wally Ellenson and Gernard Giroux. Aaron.
It was very strong execution. Like mentioned before, it was a poor read on Kitchener-Waterloo's offensive end. They were fighting for the ball first, and I think that's what started it, that little scrimmage for the ball. Wally Ellison knew he had enough space for him to finish it off strong, and boy, did he do it with that one-hand jam.
And Paul Cooper takes the hoop and the harm and one, looking to complete the three-point play at the free throw line. Gernard Giroux gets his second foul, I believe.
And the free throw game is particularly low for both of these teams today. As we could see, both of these clubs average 75% from the free throw line. They're shooting just about 60.
Quinnell Brown over to Giroux. No good on the three. Blazik with the rebound. Shamar over to Wing. Puts the push shot up. Paul Cooper with the rebound. It's good. Paul Cooper racking up some points in the paint for the Titans.
And another slam. How do you do, young man?
Gernard Giroux finishes off with a one-handed slam once again. Getting that Kitchener-Waterloo defense moving has created some holes
The adrenaline has been rushing into the Express offense, Brett. It's been dynamic so far in this fourth quarter.
And Maurice Jones has to take a swipe at A.J. Davis to commit the foul.
And in his case, it was worth it. You do not allow easy shots. You have to deny all times 100%. And that's what Maurice Jones did. Small guy his size, but still being able to deny anything inside.
Cooper facing up on Giroux. Loses it. Jones at the helm. Wally. High screen. Giroux. Loses it, but commits the foul, and that will be an intentional foul. So it will be a 2-shot plus possession for the Titans.
Unnecessary foul, and it was bad luck for the Express end. Once again, it all started on the loose ball. But try to give them props to them for trying to deny any shot they can. It was just a shame it had to be an intentional foul.
Chamar misses the first. And I've always been under the impression that if someone's shooting 2 free throws and they miss one, it's usually a pretty good foul to take. Anytime, that's more so for my playing days, though. If you're a head coach, I'm sure you'd never want to see anyone commit fouls, but part of the game.
I wouldn't see anybody want to commit any unnecessary fouls. I mean, any lead could be struck down at any time, so get close to the basket as much as you can and watch your hands. A.J.
Davis couldn't get it to go. Nice line from 3, just a little bit too much. Jones. Give and go from DeAndre. Quinnell with 3 to shoot. Back to Jones for 3. No, off the mark. What a creative pass, though, from Quinnell Brown just to get that possession. Adam Wing gets it to go for 3.
Kitchener-Waterloo wanted to apply the full court pressure because they sense that they could get back in this one.
10-point deficit now. Windsor Express. Jones for 2. Yes. Elbow jumper has been very good to Maurice Jones this year. And Paul Cooper scores in transition. DeAndre Thomas does not commit the foul.
It's been Cooper. Well, he has to be real careful. It's been Cooper and Davis really cleaning up house for the KW.
Blazek's been working so hard, the B came off the back of his jersey. It's just Lazek now, number 5. Quinnell Brown spinning. Gets it away from the defender. Finds the corner. A.J. Davis knocks it out. So nice job from A.J. Davis on the defensive play. Windsor will have 2 to shoot. 7:32 left in the fourth quarter. 80-70, the Windsor Express up. Thanks for tuning in on Knockstrom.tv, folks. Quinnell Brown turning, shooting, doesn't get it to go.
And A.J. Davis, ever since he's been very persistent on the shot, he's been warming up. He's doing it on both ends, making sure, once again, the Titans get a chance in this one because, as indicated in the NBLC, no lead is safe.
Blazek takes the high screen to his left. In the middle of the key, tries to find Cooper rolling. He gets it back, but has to pull it out. Cooper to his left. Brandon Kearney soars in with the rebound. Jones gets away from the double team. Crosses over, up and under, over to Kearney. Drives, loses it. Adam Wing with a nice defensive job there. But that will be Windsor Express possession.
I want to highlight something too. DeAndre isn't doing much work on the defensive end. He wants to be very careful in the fouls because foul trouble has been one issue for the Windsor Express so far this season, especially for the bigs. And you got to expect that for them. So when it comes to the offensive play, he could be really strong, but now he really has to be careful and look for the other guys to take it in. What a block.
Kearney gets it back. Off the rebound, that ball hit the rim, so it was a fresh shot clock. Quinnell Brown scores for 2. Blazik to the cup, and DeAndre Thomas going to be called for his foul. Standing straight up, but DeAndre Thomas gets called.
He's going to have 5 fouls, and that's going to prompt him to come out.
And here comes Eric Parker. Good to see Eric Parker back in a Windsor Express jersey, wearing number 40. Filling in for Nick Evans tonight.
Just activated too, and now you're seeing somewhat most of that championship team come to life yet again after a couple of years, but
Couple pieces.
yeah.
Got DeAndre and Eric and Darren Duncan, who were members of the Express's first championship season. DeAndre and Eric are on the back-to-back seasons of championship teams. And coming into this season, when we had our original roster set, we originally didn't have DeAndre Thomas or Eric Parker on that list. They have been practicing with the squad, and they've been adding a lot of experience and leadership at practices, the ones that I've seen anyway. And good to see them both getting their opportunity here.
And they've been helping out, especially in these situations.
We saw Eric Parker during our exhibition game against London do some damage from the perimeter, knock down some distance shots. Quinnell Brown loses it. In the corner, Jones does not get it off in time. So Quinnell Brown loses it. The Express have to scramble, but it will end up in a Kitchener possession. 6:11 to go here in the 4th.
Titans did a really great job causing traffic near the free throw line, double teaming Quinnell Brown, using up time. Adam Blazik again warming up.
Scoring at the cup and drawing the foul, Adam Blazik. Looking to trim the deficit to 7 points with a free throw made here. It's 82-74.
And you wouldn't expect no less from him, leading the team in points and rebounds, and tonight is no difference. It's another statistic. He has 11 points, 4 rebounds as well.
Blazik completes the three-point play. 7-point game.
So you see full court pressure being applied.
The Express breaking the pressure. Quinnell. Crosses over to his left, loses it, saves it, but it ends up in the hands of Tramar. Quickly up the floor, A.J. Davis scores.
And once again, A.J. Davis making a number out of this game, now scoring 17 points, leading the Titans.
And Quinnell Brown nearly loses it. Over the timeline, here come the Express. 5:20 to go here in the 4th. Jones finds a crease, takes a bump, and he'll draw the foul. Nice job there by Maurice Jones. A little bit of confusion on that offensive set, so he took it himself. Went 1-on-2, but drew the foul. Maurice Jones at the line.
And it was a good mismatch too. He had 2 big guys come right in front of him. He knew he couldn't score. He knew he couldn't score straight up. So instead, he used those sizes up to his advantage to draw the contact.
Knocking it down, both. Extending the lead back to 7 points. Oh, A.J. Davis on the offensive board will draw the foul, and he'll go to the free throw line for 2.
And a rare miss for him too. I mean, so far, Brett, he is 8 of 15 after a slow start, but really coming up big in the second half. It's only a matter of time to find out whether if he could really cut down this lead.
Knocking down the first free throw is A.J. Davis, trimming that deficit once more. Knocks it down and makes it a 5-point game. Brandon Kearney's going to step out in favor of Warren Ward. Eric Parker throwing in the ball for the press.
5-second violation.
And on that play, the two Express guards went into the same area. Didn't really give Eric too good of a passing lane.
And no options whatsoever.
That's why it's important to have that four-man at center court to rush in and try and get that. And Warren Ward steps up in that lane to make the play. So 4 guards on the floor for the Express, along with Eric Parker. Jones passed it through the legs of the defender, Wally Ellenson, for 3. Eric Parker takes a big knee in the face.
Oh, goodness me.
And he's down. Eric's down behind the plate. Tremar Sutherland to the cup.
That has to be an official timeout. That was very hard to take in, but good hustle.
The Express would have to regain possession for the official timeout to begin. And Eric, a big collision crashing after that loose ball. Not something you want to see from a guy who we just signed. Just signed, and he's grabbing the back of his head. Seems to be a situation where Eric needs to step off. Unfortunate for Eric, just getting into the game a few minutes ago.
And returning, too.
That heart and hustle. So Lester Prosper will check back into the game with 4:24 left. We'll keep an eye on the situation with Eric Parker moving forward. Eric formerly played at Wayne State before turning pro, coming over to the Windsor Express. He's been around this organization since their first season, Aaron, and that's got to be saying something.
One of the originals to do it.
And he didn't make the original roster in the opening season. He stayed around. He stayed around for months, and he worked out for months with this team to get his shot.
Make it work.
Lester Prosper with the rebound, and he asked the crowd to get up, get some pumpage going up in the WFCU Center. 4:04 left.
Getting some surge in there.
That's a good way to put it.
With all due respect to Kitchener-Waterloo.
Knocking it down. No, sorry. Lester Prosper can't knock it down. Blazik in the offensive set. Cavell Johnson with the follow. He scores.
And I bet you they needed that type of adrenaline to get back into this one. Good follow through from Cavell.
Warren Ward hands it off to Ellenson, back to Jones. High screen set from Prosper at the three-point line. He goes inside, up fake. Over to Wally. Back to Jones. He loses it. And that will be a shot clock violation.
The little guy did too much on that play, ate too much time on the clock. He brought pressure, and he wasn't able to break away from that. Wally Ellison tried to break it away for him, but it was too little too late.
And DeAndre Thomas will check into the game now. 3:19 to go.
And he has to be wary. He has 5 fouls.
Wally Ellenson, our lead scorer today for the Windsor Express. 18 points to my knowledge.
He's having a good night.
Gonna take care of a sweaty spot on the floor. I believe that might be from when Eric went down a few moments ago. Head trainer Aaron Boos seems to be sitting very close to Eric, but no further evaluation going on. 3:12 to go here in the game. Blazek. Wing. And a foul going to be called on Paul Cooper for the hold on the rebound.
Again, very surprising. He was near DeAndre Thomas, so he got him right where he wanted it, so he'd get a defensive foul off of him, but unfortunately he moved his elbow a little bit too much.
And there you go, Wally Allenson coming in as the trailer to help break that press. Something that did not happen a few possessions ago when the Express turned it over on a 5-second count. DeAndre looking for a cutting Maurice Jones. And a foul going to be committed by DeAndre after committing the turnover.
An impressive hustle from DeAndre right to the baseline, being able to try to save the ball. Windsor Express really needed a big offensive stop, but now they have to convert that to defensive play. They need a couple of defensive stops right now to seal this game. But as we know Kitchener-Waterloo, they do not go away. These are two tight second half teams that are willing to deliver.
DeAndre is saying that he has 5. I think he does 2.
He does, yeah, he does have 5.
I'm not sure if that is 6 or if it's just 5 and coach is switching him out after 5. I didn't hear the PA announcer, so. But from our DAC stats here, oh no, Chris Lemieux just updated him. That is DeAndre's 6th. So he finishes the game with 4 points and 5 rebounds.
Quiet game for him, and that was all because the foul trouble he got in early on.
And Paul Cooper knocks down the first free throw, makes it a 1-point game. And he misses the second, but he gets it back in the corner. Adam Wing puts up the three.
Oh, baby!
Get that garbage out of here, woo, says Lester Prosper.
And that's the defensive stops I've been talking about. They needed that one, and they realized they had to space out quick. They were unable to do it in time, but Lester Prosper had perfect timing on that block.
Adam Wing over to Blazek after the block. 2.5 to go here in the game. 84-83. Stripped. Jones with the defensive play. .2:15 to go here in the fourth. High screen set by Quinnell. Has his shot blocked from Blazek, or taking a piece off of it. See our season ticket holder Brad Bondi on the baseline talking with the official. I love Brad.
He is one of these super fans.
Been here since game 1.
Absolutely.
And that's going to prompt a timeout with 2:09 here to go in the fourth quarter. The Windsor Express up 84-83. If you like exciting basketball and are a fan that is addicted to drama, make sure you come back here on Knoxroom.tv. Welcome back, folks, to the WFCU Center. We're here with 2:09 to go here in the fourth quarter.
Hello.
Adam Blazek for the Kitchener-Waterloo Titans. Finds Paul Cooper down low, but Maurice Jones slides over and commits the foul. Paul Cooper to the free throw line with in a 1-point game, 1:58 here to go here in the fourth quarter. Paul Cooper. He ties this game up at 84. 1:58 to go here in the fourth. Redhead is Solo Jones up top of the WFCU. Aaron Sanders, Justin Prince getting ready for the post game. Paul Cooper leaves it off the front rim on the second. That's a tie game, 84-84. Ward kicks it out to Jones for a long two. No. Ellenson tried to get the rebound, but here come the Titans. And Paul Cooper gets it to go and gives KW a lead, 86-84. Maurice Jones, high screen from Quinnell Brown, and a foul going to be called against Tremar Sutherland. Sutherland commits the foul, and it will be express ball on the sideline. And a turnover. But a A.J. Davis carry will negate the turnover. Unfortunately, he mishandled the ball for a moment, and it will be a carry. Jones at the helm for the Express, and a foul going to be called down low against Adam Wing. Quinnell Brown was facing up, boxing. Establishing position on Wing down low. And now Quinnell gets the inbound. Hands it off to Jones. Ellenson, who's had himself quite the game. 7 to shoot. The Express down. 1 minute to go. High screen. Maurice Jones to the cup. Can't get it to go. But that will be a reset shot clock, and it will be Windsor ball because on the defensive rebound, the Kitchener-Waterloo player stepped out of bounds, so it will be fresh shot clock for the Express. They get a break there. Down 2. Have scored only 12 points in the quarter. Jones to Quinnell in the high post. That ball is stripped by Adam Wing. 45 to go. The Express need a defensive stop here. 86-84, they trail. Davis with a head of steam, loses it, and then we'll say it's off of an Express player. Kitchener-Waterloo ball, 33 to go, 9 to shoot. 9 to shoot on the shot clock, 33.3 in the game. Blazek. Long 3 for the dagger, no. Quinnell with the rebound. 25 seconds to go here in the game, folks. 20. 2 will tie, a 3 for the lead. Back to Jones. 10 to shoot. To the cup. He's got no one there. Scores! Tie game. 86 up. Maurice Jones gets it done again on the bounce. And that will prompt timeout call from Serge Langus and the Kitchener-Waterloo Titans. A chance to draw up a play for the win. The Waterloo Titans have lost their last 4. The Windsor Express have lost their last 3. Either way, his streak will be extended tonight. We'll take a short break here on Knockstrom.tv. We'll be back for the end of the fourth. Coming back out of the timeout, the Kitchener-Waterloo Titans have 9.9 seconds left to make something happen. Tie game 86 up. AJ Davis has been their go-to player all game. Paul Cooper's had himself a game as well. AJ Davis on the inbound, over to Blazik. He steps inside the key, gets it to go with 5.4 to go. Adam Blazik with the runner puts Windsor down by 2. Kitchener up by 2. A fantastic play, takes the bump, hits the running shot with less than 5 seconds to go. That will prompt a timeout from head coach Bill Jones. And it will even make this game even more dramatic. For all of our friends that are addicted to drama and who are adrenaline junkies, the man himself, Alejandro, is up on his feet. And what an exciting game it has been. A big third quarter from the Windsor Express has been matched by a strong fourth quarter by the Kitchener-Waterloo Titans. They're up by 2, 88-86. 4.7 seconds to go. Oh, thank you for the joke, Salvi. 4.7 seconds left to go. And the Windsor Express coming out of the timeout looking to get something going. It's a long pause in that timeout as the Waterloo Titans come up on the floor. Wally Ellenson, the inbounder. Maurice Jones, Warren Ward, Lester Prosper, and Quinnell Brown. Wally on the trigger. And a foul going to be committed by Adam Blazik on the inbound. 4.5 seconds to go. And that will be a foul to give, so will not prompt free throws. And it's going to be on the baseline. And that will prompt another timeout from head coach Bill Jones. 4.5 seconds to go here. We're going to take a short break. We'll be back here on Knockstrom.tv right after this. Hello, folks. Oh, it's me. Hello, it's me. It's not an Adele song. Pleasure to have you guys joining us on Knockstrom.tv. what a game it has been. The Kitchener-Waterloo Titans up 88-86. The Windsor Express with 4.5 to go here to try and tie or get the win. Lester on the inbound, puts up the shot. And does not fall. The Kitchener-Waterloo Titans escape with an 88-86 victory. Prosper had a shot at the elbow. Looked good. The line was good. The Express had a chance on the follow, but it does not fall. The Kitchener-Waterloo Titans snap a 4-game losing streak to the Windsor Express, who extend a 3-game losing streak to a 4-game losing streak, falling to 3-7. The Kitchener-Waterloo Titans move to 3-6. Congratulations to the Titans. Serge Langus on a big win on the road at the WFCU Center. The Windsor Express will be out of action until next Wednesday when they battle the Orangeville A's here at the WFCU Center. That'll be a 7 o'clock game against the Orangeville A's. Justin Moss joining the town before the Express go on the road for a pair of games against the Halifax Hurricanes and the Cape Breton Highlanders. Let's send it downstairs to Justin Prince and Aaron Sanders for the Knockstrom.tv postgame. Take it away, boys.
And it all came down to one basket, that Adam Blaze clutch teardrop that really gave the Kitchener-Waterloo Titans a win right out of the WFCU Center, 88-86. Time for the Knockstrom postgame. Aaron and Justin back together, and I think we can all sum off this Windsor Express loss into, I guess, one key thing. It was those loose ball turnovers that killed them.
Yes, the loose ball turnovers definitely for sure. Overall tonight, 21 turnovers for the Express. That definitely cost them tonight, especially down the stretch, because the Express were up by 16 at one point here in the second half. They couldn't keep it together, in part because of those turnovers, especially in the final few minutes of this game. It went down to the wire, yes, but the turnovers really cost them tonight.
They were really strong in the second half in those early goings of the season, but unfortunately they weren't able to cap it off. They had a really good size of lead. One time they were up by 13, but they were unable to connect on Kitchener-Waterloo's defense, and you have to give credit to the man, Adam Blazek. He started really slow at the beginning of the game. He got back to his mojo, got back into the game, and therefore he finished off with 16 points and 6 rebounds. So benefit of the doubt, this was a game Kitchener-Waterloo needed, and now their 4-game losing streak is over.
Yes, one of these two teams is going to end their losing streak tonight, of course. But, of course, it was Kitchener-Waterloo tonight. Adam Blazek definitely helped with his veteran presence, that's for sure, especially with those struggles, especially down the stretch with the clutch shot, as you mentioned, the clutch teardrop to seal this game. He was a big-time presence, it felt like, tonight, especially down the stretch here for this team overall.
And now Windsor got a lot of work to do. They dropped their 4th in a row, but we quickly look at the stats. Field goal range, it's pretty close, but pretty low for these two teams considering they shoot almost around 48-50%. It was 43% to 37. That was in favor to the Windsor Express, but they could not connect on those buckets real well. The assist game was strong for the Express, 26-18, and points in the paint, that's where Kitchener-Waterloo got that big advantage. They won it 52-38 inside, and you think that with Eric Parker coming back and DeAndre Thomas putting in some damage, you think it would come to the Windsor's favor, but no, Kitchener-Waterloo took advantage of that Nick Evans injury and really finished it off inside.
Well, Nick Evans, in my opinion, has been the presence for rebounding inside the whole season so far, and that was a missed presence for sure tonight. It just did not help him at all, missing that presence and size and his rebounding athleticism, that's for sure. Because you mentioned DeAndre Thomas, he had just 5 rebounds tonight. Lester Prosper, 6 rebounds. In fact, one player had double-digit rebounds the entire night, and that was Quinnell Brown. And also that veteran presence right there. So they're going to miss his presence for sure. Yes, he missed tonight as under precautionary reasons. But if this extends further than this, it might be a little bit of an issue on the rebounding end, that's for sure.
And they got plenty of time to rearrange just in time for
their other game in the next few days. We go out of town for the scores, and the River Lions barely get out of their home with the win over the Island Storm, 104-103. And the game's leading scorer was Mr. Marcus Lewis. He had 21 points. Nick O'Corey, 21 points as well. But that's what you got to expect when you get a guy like Nick O'Corey to hot trot. He was on losing team for Island Storm, but he really put up a good effort.
Yes, a great performance from him tonight, as that's for sure. One of the league's top players, that's for sure, in the league history books. In fact, I believe it was 4th all-time coming into tonight in three-pointers. That's for sure, including a franchise record. I believe it was mentioned prior to tip-off tonight. So a good performance for him. But again, that was a barn burner of a game going on top of this one tonight. So fans were probably switching back and forth between this game and that game because of the energy tonight.
And I wouldn't blame him, too. And you mentioned earlier in the halftime how St. John really gets hot to trot and they score right out of nowhere. Well, you were right. They won at 105-87 in Cape Breton. Cape Breton's still trying to look for their third win, but the St. John Riptide really picking up from losing a couple of tough ones earlier in the week. Leading scorer for that, Anthony Anderson, no surprise there, 24 points. And the Riptide are still on the right track so far.
Yes, right now the Riptide definitely doing well so far. They are really hitting their stride at this point of the season. The question is, how will they catch up against teams like Halifax right now? They're currently 8-0 right now, so we'll have to see if they, once Halifax slows down the momentum, how things start balancing out.
So we go back to here. Windsor Express is very lucky right now. I mentioned that out despite of the loss because they get a couple of days off before they play here once again. This Wednesday they play against the Orangeville A's, but a day before that, the Orangeville A's visit the Kitchener-Waterloo Titans, so they got back-to-back games, the Orangeville A's, right here around Ontario. Tuesday at Kitchener-Waterloo, Wednesday at Orangeville. Quickly, time is of the essence. What does Bill Jones have to do to ensure that they come out of the gates running Wednesday and pick up a victory?
Yeah, well, the first thing, of course, is try, when you're taking on a team like Orangeville, as you mentioned, they've been really strong this season, Orangeville, and they just picked up Kyle Wiggins on top of that to the brother of Andrew Wiggins in a signing this past week. So they have added a lot more scoring talent, so they have to figure out a way to stop the scoring, both on the inside and the outside, as well as get rebounds, because as right now, it depends on, first off, if Nick Evans is back by that game, because, of course, it's precaution tonight. If it extends to that point, it could be a little bit of trouble. We'll have to see, that's for sure. You have Darren Duncan still considered day-to-day. Hey, will he be back at that time? That's also going to affect how things play out as well, especially on the offensive end, because right now, overall, the one thing as well is score, because right now, they shot an overall 43% tonight, 44%, pardon me. Usually, this is about on par for the course for Windsor, but at the same time, you want to be able to at least make baskets when you can and have to pull away, because they've been known as the second half team for the most part in the wins, as I mentioned in this halftime show. They have to have that gap and close enough of advantage to pull away in that second half to have a chance.
Well, we'll see what happens. Brendan Lavoski's Orangeville A's is mighty hot. The Windsor Express got about 5 days to make sure their ends meet and make it real strong, and that's where we'll see you again this Wednesday against the Orangeville A's. Once again, the final score, Kitchener-Waterloo 88, Windsor Express 86. Windsor Express losing 4 in a row. They hope to break that strand in about 5 days. We'll see you back here Wednesday for the Knockstrom pregame at 6:50 Eastern Daylight Time right here. This has been a presentation of Knockstrom Digital Media, producing the media excellence in Southern Ontario. Until Wednesday night, for JP, this is Aaron Sanders saying so long from the Rose City.